not the almighty power that she's praying to necessarily. So she, and of course, situations are created when her lover is almost come to terms with what she's been running away from all her life. She was born, her grandmother had prophesied that she's going to be called Durga because she's going to be this great god woman with millions of followers. And she did have her own gifts. She read this novel. I constantly had to balance between, always to set the story and to make sure that the character rises from the cultural context. Sanika has, I think I visited Punjab only once or twice, and I have not seen a temple. So when I was reading her book, I felt I could actually see the visuals of the little things which she used to write, that I could also almost visualize that. So like simple things the jaggery. What you've really spoken about the jaggery maker later is that I could actually smell the fragrance of the jaggery, and actually I wanted to know universally stories follow this one pattern, which is of birth, death and renewal. And I feel that what makes each story different from the others are the characters and their settings. Now, how important is a cultural setting to a character? I feel a cultural setting gives you the mood, the theme, the context to which you set your characters against. And for me, it's very important to know the roots of the character, where they come from. Their belief system and their opinions are built from the cultural setting that they come from, their socio-economic background. So, a character obviously is incomplete and in vacuum if you don't give it strong roots and a strong background. And also, not just in stories, as people also, we are creatures of environment, We become who we are because of the environment we grow up in, what we experience, what memories we create. Similarly, as in life, our surroundings and our reactions to those surroundings and our circumstances make us who we are. Our culture defines us in many ways. In the same way, in a story, you need that grounding to give to your character, for them to be more relatable, for them to feel more real. And I feel the more, like you were saying, that you could smell the jaggery. I for one feel that the more focus I give to these details, and the more, the closer I get to that environment or that character or that setting at that point, the more universal will my character and my story be. Because of how life pans out, she loses her faith in God. She has a very personal relationship, is a believer, and then loses that, and decides to take revenge. And as an act of vengeance, goes on to become a god woman, because she says that I'm going to go out there and make money off him and sell him in the marketplace. So she goes on to become the star of the god business and the god woman. And just when she thinks she has everything under control and this vengeance is what has taken her where she is, and she does not really need that faith, is when destiny takes a turn. She falls in love, love happens, and as usual destroys everything that we know and how we know it. And she comes to a point where she has to choose between faith and faithlessness. She has to decide what her path is going to be. Is she going to continue being the way she is, or is it time for a change? Is it time for embracing faith? Is it time for questioning what she's been believing so far? So in a nutshell, that's the story. And the parent.
I'm not someone who's an avid reader. Never read fiction at all, because I don't know, maybe it's just too big-headed, because I feel I have this vivid imagination, and unless someone can really come and break it, I don't want to read something and get into somebody else's world of imagination. And of course, Kanika is a friend, and she came up with a name called Dance of Durga itself, and she told me a small bit when she was writing, which caught my attention because I could immediately imagine without imagining better. I could go with it and feel so good with the moments that she was telling me, and that is why I was keen to read this book. And that's something I want to share with you itself, because we've never spoken of the book before. I believe that each one of us, we live a life, I think this whole universe runs on duality. Each one of us has some duality, where there's too much of love, genuine love, then there's a very thin line, very quickly flip to hatred. Only if there's that much of love can you flip to hatred. When there's that much of faith, you can go and not believe in faith. So Raju's character is something which I could so relate to, whether it's Raju or whether it was Durga, it was something which I could so relate to, that I feel in a very writer's point of view, like how you describe the atmosphere so well, the smell of the rain and all of that, which I feel all of us have forgotten nowadays. When it's rain, when before the rains come, when I remember when I was a child, I could smell the mud. Yes. And as a grown up, you get busy in your life and you forget that. Similarly, as people, we tend to forget the emotions and what we go through. And that's when, again, getting back to Raju and Durga, I feel all those things each one of us have within us. We have a Raju, we have a Durga, we have faith, we have immense faith, we have immense love, we have hatred. We can go to a point of destruction. So each and every part of this book took me through a journey where I could relate to it, and it helped me in a lot of ways, because I felt that maybe at some point of my life, whether it's love, whether it's your desires, or where you want to go, it's how you take yourself, your belief system, your support system that takes you ahead, and how you can either slip to be a Raju or a Durga.
Raf, I just want to give a context.